Estranged is one of those things that used to be a Half-Life 2 mod, but has elevated themselves to the next level. Estranged Act 1 was a Source Engine mod created by Alan Edwards all the way back in 2014. It makes use of some Half-Life 2 and Left 4 Dead assets as well as some custom ones. Some graphical features were also added, like depth of field and lens flares. At the time, the game looked really good for the Source Engine, but not quite good enough. After Act 1 was finished, Alan Edwards went to work on Act 2, of course. But he left Source behind in favor of Unreal Engine 4, which is working out quite well for him and his team. Now, before we delve deep into this, I gotta mention that the game is still in early access. Anything could be changed before the game launches in full. That said, let's play. You start the game off with a prologue of what happens before the events of Act 1. You rise and shine out of your bed and you're allowed to explore your little shed. You can even turn on the television to find out what's on the news, but they're just talking about some controversy about a security firm. Hey, wait a minute. Haven't I seen this laptop before somewhere? Oh yeah, it's the same laptop as the one you use in House Flipper. Neat. Anyway, when you go outside and breathe in the lovely and clean forest air, you can really notice the jump in graphics quality. Unreal Engine 4 is far ahead of Source when it comes to graphical fidelity, and that's apparent, especially in terms of lighting and reflection quality. Moving down this pathway, we enter a little beach with a boat docked at the pier. As we enter this boat, we move slowly towards a mysterious island. And after we get hit by lightning, the prologue ends. This is where the actual game starts. After the events of Act 1, you end up at the bottom of this pit you fell into. As you leave the cave, you start to notice some rambling from enemies who have apparently followed you.
What do you think? Fell down there, maybe?
I don't know. This place is falling apart.
You know, if we report this, they're gonna make us go down there.
Yeah, I know. It's not worth it. Let's just let the things get him.
It's fine by me. Let's move.
After following the cave for a bit, you end up inside a big room with an elevator you have to activate first. To do this, you have to find a can of gasoline conveniently placed on top of the scaffolding that overarches the generator. Now that the elevator is up and running, you make it up to, yes, another elevator. This is also where we get our first tape recording.
This is the Liam Jones audio diary number 1. We just started studying the algae.
Ugh.
And
Algae.
realized that it...
We do a little puzzle involving barrels and make it up to the game's third puzzle. As you can see, this gate is quite locked. The only way we can activate it is to go into this room and flip this switch, and voila, the gate is unlocked. Alright, so the next section is... another puzzle. Okay, so the game is riddled with puzzles. I mean, we got 4 just at the start of the game. As I do think that this is a little much, these puzzles are nowhere near long and very easy to solve, so they don't leave you stagnant for too long. This puzzle involves you finding a keycard from a guy called Liam Jones. Apparently, the poor son of a gun lost his card and you're using it to enter ARK Corporation's facility. Okay, so ARK is the game's evil corporation. They are the reason why, well, I'll just tell you when the time comes. Let's just enter the bill.
Welcome to ARK East. Please stand by for biological scan.
Ah, shit! I'm down. I'm not human. Okay, so after that horrible scare, we enter the labs. There isn't really much to say about it apart from it looking pretty cool. I do find some of the shadow maps to be of quite a low resolution, but hey, my game is running above 60 frames per second, so I'm not complaining. We go up a few stairs and we enter the ARK offices. Looks like a pretty nice place to work in my opinion. We start to notice that most offices are barricaded off, so we end up climbing vents. Now, this segment can be pretty frustrating if you don't know where to go. I ended up playing this segment for about 10 minutes just because I couldn't find my way through. But maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know. After a really well detailed lobby area, we go behind the scenes again, only to find a kitchen with more vent climbing. The deeper we venture inside the complex, however, the more it starts to become apparent that we are not the only carbon-based lifeforms present. The vent leads us to a hallway that is blocked. Ah! Whoa, okay, yep, my suspicions were true, we need to get the hell out of here. Oh, sorry, heck. We make our way through some sort of storage area only to find everything on fire. Man, I guess the other person had the same suspicions as me and just decided to burn whatever was lurking behind by roasting the whole place to a crisp. That would have been the same kind of reaction I would get when I find a spider crawling inside the wiring of my control panels. Now, if burning me alive wasn't enough, flaming explosive barrels are now thrown at me. Man, I guess this guy needs some sort of serious therapy once he gets away from here. Once we survive that sad attempt of self-defense, we make it outside. Because the main gate is locked, we are in need to go to the container next to the building where our friend from the first game, Jonathan, is waiting for us. Sorta. John tells us that we need to send out an SOS about what ARC is doing. Again, we'll come back to that later. For that, we need to go to an old decommissioned radio station somewhere on the island. So let's go. We make our way to the sewers and oh! Look what we have going on here. Zombies. This is what ARC is doing. They put algae in the water and it turns people into zombies. What an evil Machiavellian plan. Luckily, that zombie was behind bars. There is no way that... Oh no. Please. Run. Okay, so this is our first encounter with an enemy. We can't fight the zombie, so instead we just raise the water level to drown it. Oh, and so we can swim to the other side of this pathway. 2 flies, 1 hit. We climb through another vent and we end up in another elevator. However, this one is a bit elevated itself, so we need to kinda parkour our way up. Once we are at the surface again, we get to a lake with a little destroyed shack in the middle. After investigating it for a bit, we find a gun. And right on time too, because zombie attacks are becoming a genuine problem right now. After we have completely destroyed the zombies, we come to a gate with a lock on it. However, it's pretty easy to get around. This is one of those tricks that game devs like Valve do when they need to make sure that the player has picked up a certain weapon. You can't go through this gate without having found a pistol. We decided to walk for a bit until we come across a pretty dangerous place. This turret is relentless. You need to make sure you're hidden behind cover at all times or else, well, you turn into Swiss cheese. We also come across our first human enemy. And well, he shoots like a fucking angel. So majestic. And a bit further ahead, we get another turret. This time, it's a little harder to sneak past it. Now all that is over with, we enter some sort of warehouse. Nothing out of the ordinary here, except that the door closed right behind me. Ominous. We enter a little office and... Well, alright, that didn't really go as planned. We are not dead though, no. We are put in a little prison by some rogue ARC employees, I guess. And we are being fed. Yummy! Bread. We absorb the bread and go to sleep. Only to wake up because of the zombies that have invaded the prison. Of course. Luckily, the vent behind us explodes and we are able to leave this place. Once we get to the other side of our prison door, we can get our weapon back and start venturing through this place. We immediately enter a weird-looking room with 2 doors. They each lead to a room with a puzzle. In the back of the room there is an elevator, but it's locked. So let's go left first. The puzzle here is quite simple. You need to enter a code into the computer to disable the lockdown. However, you don't have the code, right? Well, wrong. It's actually a 2-step authentication thingy. Just click resend code and the phone, which is right in front of you, will receive the code. I'm actually surprised nobody has used a puzzle like this before. Clever. Although I think it could have been executed a bit more cleverly. Onto the area on the right of the main room we got... bunnies! Oh, look at them go. The code here is actually the specimen count. In other words, the amount of bunnies that are in the habitat below. But trust me, it's not as easy as it sounds, because they keep jumping around the place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Ah, I hate this so much! Alright, after having counted them all, the elevator unlocks and we go up and we get out in a completely green office space. Moving further along, we go past some toilets, but there is nothing to do in them. I just wanted to point out that the light switches are animated, but they really don't do anything. Huh. We walk up some stairs and open a door, and the screen fades to black. This is where Estranged Act 2 ends, at least on the build that I played it on. By the time that you're watching this video, a new build might already be out, containing more levels after that. Estranged Act 2 has a lot of potential. It really builds on top of what Act 1 has already done and tries to do it even better. There are a few little things here and there that they haven't figured out just yet, like the vent parts and the puzzles at the end of this build. I just feel like this game needs just a little bit more polish before it can call itself a worthy successor to Act 1. The shooting is a little bit awkward as well. I feel like the gun sways too much when you shoot, making hitting targets more difficult than it needs to be. Also, the human enemies are a little too unforgiving. They shoot fast and you die in a few hits. Honestly, I'd rather have more enemies in an area that are easier to kill than one enemy that is a pain in the butt to deal with. But hey, the game is still in early access and there are also good things to say about it. I like how the game isn't completely action-oriented. I also love the computer screens with the sometimes witty stuff on it. It's a great way to bring backstory forward. I also like that there are no loading screens at all throughout most of the campaign. This really murdered Act 1's immersion at many times, so I'm glad that they have switched over to level streaming instead, meaning that portions of the game get loaded as you go. There is some really nice stuff here that is just waiting to be finished. Should you try it out though? Well, yes, it's free, and it runs well on my laptop. So if you have played Act 1 and you want to see where the series is headed, yes, go try this out. Now, I have heard that this game is getting a price tag when it's completely finished, so you might need to be quick as, like I already mentioned, development on it is quite active. New content gets introduced every month. Alright, that's really all I have to say. I can't wait until the full game releases. I will definitely buy it. Or maybe the beautiful Ellen Edwards can give me a free key when it's finished? Okay, just kidding. You know, eventually my money goes to Gaben one way or another. Don't stop the game, Ben. Hold on to that game, Ben. Free life.